There are 26 muscles that make up the pelvic region, and together they do everything from stabilize the spine to supporting bladder control. And just like any other muscle, the pelvic floor muscles can be weak or tight or cause dysfunction. So here now with how and why they support women's pelvic health specifically is Dr. Yalda Mendoza and Dr. Akeem Kusha, and I didn't ask you before we started.
Akimi.
Okay, so Dr. Akimi, Dr. Yalda, thank you guys so much for being here. This is something that I really need to talk about. Every woman needs to talk about it, especially as we're entering middle age. Tell us a little bit about Restore Therapeutics first and why women's pelvic floor is so important to you guys.
So, Restore Therapeutics, we specialize in pelvic health.
Okay.
Specialize specifically in women's pelvic health. Like, you know, pelvis is not just isolated part in your body.
Right.
It's connected to, like you said, to your spine, to your legs, to everything. So we not just working with pelvic floor, we work with holistically with entire body.
Yeah. So more than the 26 muscles that make up the pelvic floor, we go everywhere. Why is women's pelvic floor health so important to their overall health or their overall function? How does it all relate together?
So honestly, I think that I have yet to meet a woman that doesn't have some kind of dysfunction, whether you've had babies or not, or no matter how old you are, right? And so that was what brought us to this. You know, we as women, we sit around, we talk a lot, co-workers, friends, that kind of stuff, and then, you know, you get into it, you start telling your stories, oh, I had a baby, this and things like that, you know, and then you just realize that I guess all our lives we've been told that these things are normal, right? And then we realize, you know, as PTs, that those things are not normal. Right. That you don't have to live like that, and there's things that you can do about it. And so that's what got us into this in the first place, right? We were co-workers, and we were sitting around one day, and we were like, hey, like let's do something about this, and then here we are. Yeah,
most women think, oh, well, I leak a little bit when I do jumping jacks or when I pick up my kids, and that's just my physiology. That's just how it works, and that's not the case, right?
No, it's not the case. There is something you can do about that in anything, right? And so we call it dysfunction because it only affects your whole entire life, right? You know, you think like, oh, just when I sneeze or just when I cough, but it's not it. Women have lots of different issues, pain, you know, things like that, and so it affects every part of your life, right? You know, women with their relationships with their husbands or their partners and things like that, right? And so that's what we're here for, like to let everyone know that it's not normal, that you don't have to live like that, right? That you don't have to cross your legs every time you sneeze,
or stop what you're doing,
stop what you're doing, or bring like extra clothes with you when you're going, you know, to the gym or to a concert and things like that, which are things that we hear like a lot, right?
So it sounds like the range of clients or the range of patients that can see you, you serve many different people. What are the therapies that you guys do in your office? What is pelvic floor therapy?
You want to take that one?
Because it's a big question.
It is.
So what is pelvic floor therapy? That's, like you said, it's a big question. So basically women before having birth, so prenatal, they should be coming to see us to really understand how their pelvic floor function with the rest of their body. Women after giving birth, obviously very important. It doesn't matter if you've had C-section or you've had a vaginal delivery, same thing, you should be going to see your pelvic floor physical therapist. Women before their menopause, so perimenopause, after menopause should also see us because there are a lot of changes that's happening to your body. So when the changes are happening, the external changes you'll notice, but internal changes like you said, that every time you jump or you exercise, you pee a little, those are like certain changes. If you notice all of those, you should come and see your pelvic floor physical therapist. So variety of, and then obviously all of us have heard like as you get older it's okay to, like, you know, we all have to wear pads, which is not the case. That's like you exercise the rest of your body, you should be exercising your pelvic floor too.
And so when we say we're exercising our pelvic floor, real quickly,
Yes.
what does that look like?
Well, it depends on what your issue is, right? And so
Sure.
when you say therapies, well, like kind of back to what you asked her, like we do a range of different things, right? Sometimes what your issue is just breathing, right? Just when you're breathing, the way that you breathe when you're working out, if that's what your issue. A lot of women come to us, our patients are like, well, you know, I complained and my doctor told me to do Kegels, and we're like, ugh. We try to keep the face kind of, because half of our patients shouldn't be doing that. They should be doing something else, right? Which is why we see them, we do the evaluation. We're like, this is what you need to work on. It's not necessarily like strengthening. Sometimes it's lengthening and all those kinds of things, right? And work on breathing. We work, we do a lot of manual work. I specifically do a lot of manual work.
Different exercises for different issues.
But and when I say manual work, also what like hands-on manual therapy.
Yeah,
so
I saw pictures of that on your guys' website. Yeah. Okay, we will put all the information. If this conversation is speaking to you, and I know most women out there, it's speaking to me, we'll put the information on how you can get in touch with them. That's their address, their phone numbers on there, and we'll put their website on there as well. Doctors, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. Don't change that channel. You don't have to live in pain. California Pain Consultants take us inside the surgery room to see one of their innovative procedures for pain management after this.